After World War II, Japan went through an intense period of economic reconstruction. In a 1956 white paper on the economy, the Japanese government.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. We will start our webinar for today, titled Effective Workplace Safety Committee. By the way, my name is Ismi Muhammad. Please kindly mic, please.
Myanmar lagi sekarang lawan Myanmar.
Okay. As I said just now, the title will be Effective Workplace Safety Committee. Supposed to be the time is 10:30 a.m. to 11:30. Our speaker for today is Encik Azhar Daud. Okay, the agenda for today. First, I will brief you the do and don'ts during the webinar. And then we will start the training session. Encik Azhar will introduce himself, and after the training session, will follow by the question and answer session. Okay, during the webinar this morning, please mute your microphone to avoid interruption. And then please do refrain from discussion other than the topics we discussed today. Okay, and then if you have any question, please write your question on the chat box, and we will read the question in the question and Q&A session afterwards. Okay. All right. So I pass the floor to Encik Azhar to introduce himself and continue the start with the webinar.
Oh, jangan not call lah, Azhar. Azhar not call.
Saya dah mute.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, today I would like to share with you the effective workplace safety committee. What the safety committee need to be done. So today is like special. If you attend our training, during the training, I'm not only share the requirement from the legal, from the OSHA Safety Health Committee Regulation 1996, but I also share how to do. That's the beautiful part. Okay, before we start, I'd like to introduce about myself. Okay, I'm Azhar. Previously, I'm studying in Japan in 1986, about 36 years ago. Then after that, I pursue my study at UMP, University Malaysia Pahang, as executive master. Then upon graduation, I joined a multinational company, Japanese and American company. Then from there, I gained my knowledge and my experience. As for your information, I'm also holding a green book. I'm also a safety health officer, green book. And then I also participate in many symposium, seminar and talk. For example, at the Sarawak in 2011, as a keynote speaker for the regional symposium on Engineering and Technology. This one organized by the Sarawak State Government and few universities. Then also I also become a speaker for Industrial Talk at Universiti Malaya. This one is sharing session with the student before they graduate, so I'll share with them. And then after that, the following year, UM, they call me again to share on the best practices of green manufacturing. Then DOE also sometimes they call me as a speaker to share the best practices in shared waste management. This one happened 2019. And then I'm also associate trainer or SIRIM consultant, Associate trainer means I'm a backup trainer. If in the event, and if any of the SIRIM trainer emergency, then I have to backup. Then currently I'm trainer for SETSWAM. For SETSWAM is a course on certified environmental professional in shared waste management. This one run by the DOE under IMAS. Then I also conduct I'm also a trainer for the SETSWI. SETSWAM is for a manufacturer, for those who generate shared waste. SETSWI is for the inspector, DOE enforcement officer. So SETSWAM, during SETSWAM training, I teach the manufacturing how to comply with the regulation or guideline. So during for SETSWI, I teach DOE enforcement officer how to check you all. Then I also EHS auditors. Okay, my experience audited few countries. For example, in Guangzhou, China plant, Ahmedabad, India, Kabinburi, Thailand, and also if Jakarta at Cikarang, that's area. And then I'm also consultant for Johnson Control about 1 year, which one already expired. So actually I coaching, I leveraging my experience to the new EHS members for that company. Then currently I'm shared waste consultants service for health exploration. For this one, the third year, I'm consultant for them. So guide them how to handle or manage shared waste from the beginning, from the waste generation, and then transportation until disposal. Okay, that's all myself. Okay. For effective workplace safety and health committee, okay, this webinar, free webinar is about one hour. If you want to know more detail, please join for the 2 day session. Okay. During the 12 seminar, during the 12 session, I will share with you the type of hazard. So in Malaysia, we have 8 or 6 type of hazard. So I will share the type of hazard, and then the sample, how the hazard look like, the sample and the photos. And then during that session also, I will share the best EHS committee structure and what is the role of each committee, the function of each committee. I will share with you. Then I also share with you the whole regulation one by one. For occupational safety health committee, actually we have 31 regulation. I will share one by one, plus example and how to implement. So at least you're not lost during the session. At least after you attend training, you know how to start your work. Then how to make your committee effectively function. And then how to conduct the EHS meeting effectively, what are the agenda, what item need to be discussed, and so on. And then I also share the EHS meeting agenda during that session, but for today I only touch and go the meeting agenda, what item you need to cover to ensure that your meeting are very, very effective. But the important thing is to ensure that you are zero near miss or zero industrial accident. That's our ultimate goal. Then how to conduct workplace inspection effectively, and then what item we check. Normally for this inspection, you need to decide a team. Early end of year, you need to decide a team, and then decide a date, fix a date, and then decide the area, zone area, early of the year. Okay, then how to conduct incident investigation to prevent from recurrence, and so on. Okay, So first about type of hazard, I only touch and go for this session. Okay, for the hazard, so definition of hazard, actually a hazard is a source or situation with a potential for harm in terms of human injury or ill health, damage to property, damage to environment, or combination of these.
Oh, okey. Yalah banyak sangat. Oh.
Discussion.
Sebab tim pun tak berapa ingat siapa.
I saw that. Okay. Okay, I'll share with Izzat. Okay, then I will explain to you about the domino theory. The domino theory consists of five items. First on the social environment, fault of person, unsafe act and unsafe condition, accident injuries. So our committee mainly, the HS committee is mainly is to remove unsafe act and unsafe condition. So how to remove the unsafe act and unsafe condition? This one will explain detail during the, if you participate the training, the 2 days training, then you know how to eliminate the unsafe act and unsafe condition, because the unsafe act and unsafe condition will cause accident and finally will cause injury. This one about the domino theory. Okay, this one we'll share later. Domino theory. In order for you to eliminate the unsafe act and unsafe condition, first you must strengthen your staff knowledge. You must make sure your staff is very knowledgeable. So you must conduct training, many training. Then after that, the second one is you must conduct audit. Either workplace inspection is very important to eliminate all the unsafe act or unsafe condition. And then audit by authority, example by the DOE, JOSH, KKM, Automated Unit, by bomber and so on is very important. All the findings you need to be improved. And finally your plan will be improved. And then conduct machine inspection, and then audit by third party, by the certification body. Let's say if your company have a ISO 14001 or your company has ISO 45001, this one is very benefit for you. Whatever finding or NCR or FI issued by them, you further improve, and then also conduct audit and so on. Then the third one is enforcement. You need whatever procedure you establish, you need to be enforced. Example, wearing of PPE or any other procedure, whether you need to check. Then finally, how to remove unsafe act and unsafe condition is by introduce campaign or activity. So for the campaign activity, normally you cannot copy from other company or you cannot plug from air. So all the activities and campaign must based on your data. So where your data come from? So your data come from the workplace audit or workplace inspection. So from the workplace inspection or workplace audit, then you may know what are the critical in your plan. For example, maybe a hazard issue. For example, housekeeping is very poor housekeeping, or maybe your staff not wearing PPE at all time, or sometimes any firefighting equipment obstruction, or sometimes physical hazard and so on. From that input, workplace audit input, then you can determine what's your activity. Your activity must be aligned with the finding in your plan. And then activity, for example, improvement activity, and then you must also conduct drill to test your procedure, emergency response procedure, drill and so on. Then in order for you to conduct drill, you must have a good team, emergency response team, which consists of firefighting squad, first aid team, and then hazmat team, hazardous material. That's the item which I will share in detail if you attend the training. Then about the safety triangle. Safety triangle, the important thing is the green, the bottom part green. Example, many of the company they launch or they start launch or they start do activity like a hazard hunt, or hazard identification procedure program. So everyone in your company must hunt for the hazard. So if your base is stable, then finally your LTI or your MTC is you can get 0. Then I will share also about the source of hazard, what the unsafe act, unsafe condition, and then source of hazard and also classification of hazard. Example, unsafe act, confined space, maybe related to environment, what the item related to environment. If forklift, what are the unsafe act for forklift, for ladder, and then people to rest. Safety shoes also many unsafe act, how to wear the safety shoes properly, and then scaffolding, sharp edges, working at height, and others. So I will share with you all the items. Then on top of that, the unsafe condition, also I share with you what normally company face problem of the unsafe condition. I share during the training. And then software hazard, I will share one by one. Software hazard, for example, unsafe act due to man, machinery, and then material, method, and also media. Then classification of hazard. This one also I will share what type of mechanical hazard, what type of electrical hazard, what type of biological hazard, chemical hazard, ergonomic hazard, or psychological hazard, and finally physical hazard. So I will share with you the meaning and also the photo. So easy for your team, especially for your workplace inspection, to identify all of the it isn't plus radiation isn't. So I will share with you. So it is your team member know how to find during the audit. Otherwise, you can't find any hazard in your plan. So I will share with you. Then after that, I will share with you how to analyze the hazard by Pareto chart and so on. Then that result you use for you to determine what's the campaign for your company, safety campaign. Then okay. Then for the Occupational Safety Health Committee Regulation 1996, this one I will share all the 31 regulation. We go through one by one, plus example and how to do. The important thing not to interpret it, but I will share you how to do it. And that's one important thing. Under Safety Health Committee, we have six part. One is preliminary, and 2 is composition of the committee. So during that session, I will share if let's say your staff less than 100 people, how the committee look like. If the above 40 people, how above 40 people, how the committee look like. Then function of each committee. So when you form committee, you need a proper structure. And then each committee must be function, not a passenger. Must be function. You give all each committee head duty, and then each committee must be reported to you during the EHS meeting. Then penalty, and then provision and training information. Let's say you must give a training to your committee. You must give knowledge to your EHS committee. So you must give training, must give a logbook, and so on. Then meeting of the meeting. This one, how frequent you need to conduct meeting, and then how long you need to notify to the members, and then if the meeting minute after the meeting, when you need to issue the meeting minutes, and then what are the agenda of the meeting. This one I will share with you the meeting. Okay. Then so I will skip. I will touch and go about the 31 regulation which related to safety and health committee, because we only have 1 hour. Okay. First on the membership of committee. So the important thing is a membership of committee. Okay. Membership of committee must consist of chairman, and then secretary, one chairman, and then representative of employer, representative of employees. So this one for component, the chairman must be from the people, the top management in your company. So the people can make a decision during the meeting, and then decision in terms of resources, in terms of approve of budget, approve of manpower, and so on. That one normally company will put chairman, MD, or let's say if MD not available, the second man in your company. But the second man must have authority to decide. So the meeting must be decide. All the issue in the meeting must be decided by the chairman. Then number two, let's say if your company have 100% or less, 100% less, then the HS meeting must be two representative from employees and two representative from management. So total 6. One chairman is your MD or your CEO or second man or deputy MD, and then one secretary, and then two representative from your employer and two representative from your employees. So the secretary, if let's say your company have safety health officer, so automatically safety health officer become the secretary. Let's say if your company don't have SHO, safety health officer, then normally HRD become a secretary. This one, if let's say your company have 100% or less. Yesterday I see one question. Let's see if my company have 15%. Is it need to form a safety committee? Normally for company for safety committee, let's say if your employee 40 and above, then you need to form a safety committee. One. Let's say your company less than 40, so not required to form a safety committee. But certain condition, if Director General, even though your employee less than 40, if Director General instruct or ask you to form a committee, then you need to form a committee. Maybe your company is very hazardous company, then you need to form a safety committee, even though your numbers of employee less than 40. Okay, how about let's say if your workers 100 or more? Let's say if your workers more than 100%, then you need one chairman, one secretary, 4 representative from employer, and 4 representative of employees. So total 10. So again, the representative from employee must be from various department. The best is from the most hazardous area. For example, from manufacturing, or from painting shop, or from the from the molding and so on. You take from the most hazardous area, because they will wash out any issue or problem during in the meeting. If you take all from the admin, I think normally admin side there is no issue. Then okay, safety policy. Okay, this one to form a safety policy, you need, let's say if your workers 5 and above 6%, you need to establish a safety policy. And then safety committee, if your workers is 40 and above, you need to form a safety committee. And or let's say even though if workers is less than 40, but if ordered by the Director General of DOSH, Department of Safety and Health, you still need to form a safety committee. Then the formation of committee, if less than 100, so less than 100, your one chairman, one secretary, 2 representative from employers, and 2 representative from employee. If let's say okay, then if you're more than 100, you need 1144. So total 10. So the rest, let's say if many people want to join, so you put under subcommittee. Normally we need many subcommittee for the ERT, emergency response team, for the firefighting squad, hazmat members, hazmat team, and then for the first aider. And another one, workplace inspection, we also need many subcommittee to assist you. And another one for the let's say we have activity like a campaign, you also need a subcommittee. But the main committee only 10. One chairman, one secretary, 4 from workers representative, and 4 from management representative. So this one the number. So you can put more, because later on for the let's say any ballot, so it's vehicle, not ballot. Then for safety officer, okay, let's say let's say your staff more than 100 for the heavy industry. So you need to hire a safety officer, but for the manufacturing, normal manufacturing, if workers above than 500, then you need to hire safety officer. Okay, remember. Then appointment of chairman, as I mentioned earlier. So the chairman must be the most powerful and make your company. Then that chairman must can make decision on the spot in terms of the resources to approve the budget and then to approve the resources. Then okay, employee. Okay, to explain. Okay, then appointment of members of committee. Okay, this one for the appointment member committee, this one voluntary, volunteer. You cannot force them as volunteer basis. If let's say the committee, many people want to join the committee because MD was there, so they want to show off something. So if many people want to join the committee, then because you need only 1122 or 1144, you need to ballot. If let's say nobody want to join the committee, then you have to force them. Okay. Then you must make sure the committee we can divide it into three. You can three types. One is the prisoner. Type prisoner must be there or don't want to be there or don't know why I'm here. This one the first type. The tourist is being here is better than working. So they want to escape the work, they join the committee. But we need, if possible, we need all your committee is explorer type. Explorer type want to learn, participate and help the company to eliminate the unsafe act, unsafe condition, and finally your ultimate goal is a zero industrial accident or zero near miss. Okay, normally, okay, how to retain your committee to make them effective? Because this is a volunteer job. Because of course, the members, committee members, they have their primary work, you have normal work. This one is a voluntary. So normally, company must give a token of appreciation. They issue a letter, appointment letter. They give a token appreciation. Certain company they give a bonus, extra bonus. For example, let's say your company, let's say your company give 1 month bonus or 2 month bonus. So for the committee, they get SHO linked to bonus. They get 0.1 additional. Then how to motivate people to participate in the EHS committee, because EHS committee is very important. If let's say any of our staff involved in the accident, then a cost incurred for you, and then also maybe interrupt your production. Okay, normally people most of company they give token. Example, give a safety shoes, the expensive safety shoes. For example, the normal workers you get a safety shoes value about 60 ringgit, but the safety committee they give about 280. This one resistant to the oil, and then very light, and then look at sport shoes. And other than company, they give also every year they give for example this year they give a first aid box. For then next year they give a fire extinguisher, a car fire extinguisher or house fire extinguisher 1 kg. Or sometimes people give the smoke detector. Every year they change the token. So that's why to motivate your staff to participate, to join the committee. Certain they give a voucher for bata voucher for the school shoes for your kid, and then sometimes they give a voucher for shopping like Tesco, Jasco, and so on. And then some other company they give a dash cam. This one because every committee they have KPI. For example, workplace have KPI, and then training they have their own KPI. And then workplace inspection, self-defense driving committee. So all the committee have KPI, and finally your main KPI is zero industrial accident or zero near miss. Let's see if you can achieve that one. So the committee they give a dash cam, but other employees they give other token like a T-shirt and so on. Then you another one, you must issue the appointment letter for your committee. For example, for emergency response, you must issue a letter. That letter will carry weight and signed by your MD or your CEO. So for example, the training commission committee. So each committee must have this letter, appointment letter. Okay. Then adequate employees representative. Okay. Again, for employees representative, you must select from various department. If the best, you select from the most hazardous area, because that area will contribute the most hazard. And then if the vacancy, okay, the vacancy removal of committee. Okay, removal of committee, I'll share with you. Okay, let's say if your committee fails to attend 3 consecutive meetings, you can remove him. Remove him. Then after that, let's say if your committee is found unsound mind or bankrupt, also you need to remove them from the committee, or no longer employed, retired, or left your company, or resign, then or committed of offence. This one you need to remove, or involving fraud, dishonesty, or moral turpitude. This one you can remove your committee. You select another committee by open to all members. If too many if member want to join, then you have to balloting. Then criminal. Okay, fund shop committee. Okay, the best this one the best fund shop committee. So let's you have 4-4-1-1. So one chairman, one secretary SHO, and the balance you must put under each committee. For example, you appoint as a training committee leader, legal committee leader, workplace inspection leader, emergency response team leader, contract employee and contractors representative leader. Let's say you have foreign worker from Bangladeshi, Nepalese, and then from Myanmar, Indonesia, they want to have a committee between your company and their leader. And then defensive driving committee and incident investigation and EHS improvement. Normally 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So every committee must have their task. Then every committee must report during the EHS meeting. At least training committee must report 5 minutes. You give them airtime 5 minutes for the training committee, training head, and then for the legal, workplace inspection, ERT, and so on. Example for the training, what type of training you need to be conducted in future. Or let's say if you already conducted, what are the achievement? How many people attend? What's the knowledge obtained during training? Everyone must brief during the meeting. For the legal committee, the legal must check in your plan how many legal you not comply, or what are the new legal the government will introduce or the government will revise. The one under legal must report to the meeting. Workplace inspection, you must report what are the hazard, the most hazard in your company. ERT, they manage the 3 team. Main team is a firefighting squad, first aider, and hazmat team. And then what type of training you given to the team, and then what are type of drill, for example, daytime drill, nighttime drill, or weekend drill, either fire drill, evacuation drill, electrical drill, or chemical spillage drill. For employee, contractor, and representative, this one the leader must meeting with the foreign worker leader from each country, then highlight what the issue. For example, the issue you found during the workplace inspection. Example, smoking at the non-gazetted area, or fire issue, or not wearing PPE. So from the workplace inspection finding, then the leader for the employee and contractor, the leader must be communicated to all each country leader representative. Then defensive driving. Let's say your company have many accident during commuting, during go to work or going back. Then you need a defensive driving committee. Try to find the solution how to reduce their staff involved in the accident or traffic accident. Then incident investigation. The team for incident investigation, if they say any accident occurred, so this team must go through together of the committee and chairman, must go to the site and conduct a inspection. Not only during the incident, also conduct the machine inspection from time to time. Is it your members do bypass and so on. And then EHS improvement and promotion. This one for the campaign, or for the improvement. Whatever finding from the workplace inspection, you pass to the EHS improvement to the some countermeasure. And also whatever finding from the workplace inspection, you need to pass through the training, ask the training to conduct in-house training. Example, maybe your staff during the inspection found many of your staff not wearing PPE properly or not wearing PPE at all. So you pass through training, conduct the PPE training, how to wear, and pass through HS improvement, make a campaign, PPE campaign, wear PPE. Or sometimes during workplace inspection, you found that housekeeping not in place. Then you ask the training section to conduct 5S training. And then you inform to the EHS improvement or promotion, ask them to conduct the 5S campaign. That's how the structure like. So you must make sure all the committee is an explorer type. They are willing to learn, and then willing to give idea. And then that's why during the meeting, each committee must say something. At least you give them a time 5 minutes for the training, legal, workplace, ERT, and so on. That's how the company do the training. So in order to maintain momentum, so you need give token appreciation. Some company they bring all the committee for the site visit. They select in Malaysia where's the best company to visit to learn or study the best practices. Then you bring the committee to that company in order for them to get idea how to improve your plan. Inspection, okay, inspection of place of work. So here during the revision, you must conduct workplace inspection once in every 3 months. So again, for workplace inspection, the task to conduct workplace inspection will give to the leader from the EHS committee, the leader from the workplace inspection. So the committee must decide every month team, and they decide. So when is the best date to conduct audit? Normally the select example, you fix in your calendar, your company calendar, every month in the third week, Wednesday from 2 to 3 is a workplace inspection. So normally it's difficult for you to get end of the month and early month because people are quite busy to do closing. So normally people will select either second week of the month or third week of the month. So every Wednesday from 2 to 3. Then up to you must decide. So everybody know. So every month, second week or third week, there's a workplace inspection must fix. And then team also, you must have team what type to be inspect. For example, January you must focus on the PPE issue. February on the 5S issue. March on the chemical substance. April on the schedules, and then May on another issue, machine guarding and so on. So they want the main, but others you also need to be checked during the work inspection. That topics, the team will focus more. Then discuss. Okay, then inspection, then investigation of any accident. Normally, if any accident occurred, then the best you sharing among your staff, via through email, or you put at the circuit guard or any notice board. You must share with your staff. Certain company they share during the assembly. Let's say if you have a general assembly, then the MD must share in the assembly. Certain company they ask the department head to share. Let's say for example you have 10 department. That department A accident occurred at department A. The head of department A must be shared to the public. Okay, this document you need during the accident. At least you need 12 documents to be prepared and put a special file. This one not only for your own purposes, but only let's say if DOSH come and do inspection, they want to see this file. Or sometimes let's say if your company have a ISO 14001 or ISO 45001, the auditor also check how you manage, how do you conduct the incident investigation. So detail you share in the training how to conduct. It's not only just touch and go. Then after that, action to be taken, report any complaint you need to be tackle issue. Other matters to be considered by committee. Incident complaint. Okay, investigation or complaint. You must have a special communication box. Normally people put a box at the cafeteria, at the security guard, or at the corridor, at the strategic area. So everyone, if any of your staff, if they have a complaint, they have a card, they write and put into the box. Others, or they also can through email or can through your committee. Committee, external committee. Okay, this one subcommittee. Okay, subcommittee again I mentioned for example workplace education, they required subcommittee, and then ERTT, then many subcommittee, for example for firefighting squad, for the first aider, and then for the hazmat team, then subcommittee. Then frequency of meeting, according to safety and health committee, at least once in 3 months. At least 1 year you must have 4 meeting, at least 4 meeting. But you can conduct monthly is the best. Same goes to the workplace inspection. Workplace inspection according to safety and health committee, once in 3 months. But you can do monthly is the best. You try to eliminate hazard. Or sometimes you also can introduce like a BBS, behavior-based safety, or hazard hunt, or hazard identification procedure. Ask all employees participate to hunt for the hazard, and then whatever their suggestion, their finding, you must give a token, like wall pen, notepad, and so on. You must give token of appreciation. Serta kami, the force, all employees must at least one must try to find 1 monthly hazard, the force, under KPI. Right? Meeting, okay, meeting at least meeting shall be had not less once in 3 months. Okay, then for meeting, the secretary must give reasonable notice, at least 2 months, 2 weeks before the meeting, and then unless you accident, you need to conduct immediate meeting, immediate inspection. All the committee must go to the incident area and conduct together the incident investigation. Okay, then duty to provide facilities. One, you need to provide a meeting room and so on, and meeting quorum. Okay, quorum. Okay, for the quorum, let's say if for quorum, every meeting the quorum shall be the chairman and secretary, the rest not less than half. Then you can start meeting. At least 50%. But chairman, secretary must be there. The balance is from the representative from employer and employee management. Okay. Safety committee. Okay, this one already explained. Okay, then non-member may attend the meeting. Can let's say for example, if you say any accident occurred, then you call the non-member. Non-member is the witness, or the witness, or the witness, or sometimes you call the consultant. For example, you conduct, let's say, ergonomic risk assessment, or you conduct local exhaust ventilation, or you conduct CHRA. The assessor must explain to the committee, explain the finding during the committee. Normally people do that because they want to see the finding from the CHRA. Because from the finding, some finding need a budget, so need MD to approve. And then matters to be discussed in the meeting. Okay, this one, matters to be discussed on the meeting agenda. Normally, accident statistic is the must. First, so accident statistic, you must industrial accident, traffic accident, preventable, traffic accident, non-preventable, near miss if you have, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning or occupational disease, property damage, and fire accident. This one you must discuss. If no, you put no. This month no accident. Last month no accident. No. But this agenda you must discuss, especially on the near miss. Okay. Then during the session, I will explain to you what the accident, near miss, property damage, incident, illness, disease, injury. Because all of the juggle different meaning. Okay, then the second agenda is review previous meeting minutes. What the pending from the last meeting? What the pending? You need to be reviewed. If let's say if still not closed, then you bring to another meeting, next meeting until the issue was closed. Then safety officer report. Safety officer report is special report. Normally safety officer report they inform about annual medical checkup. Let's say they conduct audiometric test or boundary noise monitoring, or sometimes if let's say DOSH come to a plant and conduct a annual inspection, what the finding, or fire certificate issue, what the pending issue, or factory machinery department new machine inspection, what are the issue, and then legal requirement, what are the legal requirement you do not comply, and then lesson learned, maybe lesson learned, I'm not sure, let's say your company have many branches, maybe they have their venue to share among your company, they let accident from other area, and then medical civil result, they say any our staff have a problem, and then noise monitoring report, noise mapping report, and then maybe the campaign, weight loss campaign, or UCUF program, or hazard hunt program, and then also bleeding insurance finding, biological hazard issue, and then audit from third party, chemical exposure monitoring result, CHRA, LEV, and then others. This one need to be shared. After that, after safety officer report, then this part, report by subcommittees. Each subcommittee must say something about at least 5 minutes. You give them a time 5 minutes. Tell their KPI, their progress of KPI, their activity in order to achieve the KPI, and then also their future planning, past result. This one, each committee must tell to the committee. Then about the issue, is there any inventory issue? For example, let's say your industrial influence not comply with the standard A or standard B, or your emission not comply to the standard C, or schedule risk issue. Is it exceed 20 metric ton, or exceed 180 days? Then any other safety and health issue, any audit from vector unit for the dengue issue, lava, or any from the safety inspection, bomber inspection, and so on. Then any other issue, this one bring by maybe from the box, from the communication box, or any other issue from the employee. Then future activity, what are your future activity? Maybe you will have an audit from the authority, from the DOSH, from the OE, or also audit from the third party. Maybe your company audit by the certification body, or what type of training you will be conduct maybe in future training, and then drill, you plan to conduct what type of drill, only mention type drill, but not mention the date and time not mention, only the type of drill, and then campaign, what are campaign you plan to conduct in future, and then what EHS improvement you already did, improvement, or you plan to do. These are the meeting agenda, EHS meeting agenda. It need to be discussed during the EHS meeting. Okay. Then after that, a member already matters discussion meeting, minute meeting. Okay, normally minute meeting 2 weeks after the meeting. You must issue the minute meeting 2 weeks after the meeting. This one under the regulation. And then duty to ensure basic knowledge and function of committee. So that's why you need to conduct training. You give a training to all your committee member knowledge. For example, this type of training. Let's say your committee, you must equip, you must give a knowledge to all your training, to your committee member. So that's why committee member can function. Let's say with the committee member no knowledge, how you expect them to function? Duty to provide a training. Okay, duty to make available relevant document. Okay, normally for a company, they give all the logbook to their committee. For example, FMA 1967, OSHA 1994, EQA 1974. Certain company they give a logbook. Certain company, because too many book, they only copy, they extract the relevant regulation to your plan. Only that. But when your committee, you give a talk, normally when you issue a formulator plus PPE plus the regulation, the logbook, and plus your company KPI, how to achieve the zero incident. That one normally early in the year, the MD will say something, you gather all the committee, new formation committee, and then give them, MD will award a formulator, will give, the company will give all the regulation book, and then we explain what are your KPI. Right? And then this one information not to be supplied. Normally, kalau let's say if any accident occurred in your plant, please do not share with others, because it will tarnish your company image. And then finally, the penalty. Penalty, let's say you do not comply all the 31 regulation, So the penalty is 6 months or I think 10 years or both. Okay, that's all I can share with you today. Okay, so I hope I already answered all your question you raised during the to our admin. So all the question I think I already answered except one. Except one here, you look this. Okay, is it possible? Number 24. Number 24. Is it possible to make safety committee in government sector? Okay. Normally in government sector, I'm not sure. In government sector, who are in the government sector are knowledgeable about safety. If they have knowledge, they can manage. Normally, I think I very seldom see government sector conduct the DHS meeting. Unlike manufacturing. That's one. Another one, the question, hospital, safety committee in hospital. If KPJ, yes, they have a proper safety committee. But the government hospital, I'm not sure. Because in KPJ, I also conduct a training in KPJ, they have proper safety committee. Safety committee, then from the safety committee, they find what the hazard in the hospital. For example, hazard like spread of the virus, or sometimes disposal of the shrink, or disposal of the mask, and then proper disposal of the PPE attire and so on. And sometimes issue about the ghost issue, then the hospital safety. Okay, I think I already answered all your question during this session. For example, how effective committee ada in Spain, you need to form a committee, then you must give a task to all the committee, not the passenger. Each committee must play an important role and function. Okay, I think that's all for today. Any other question?
Okay, Cik Azhar. I think currently we have only 2 questions.
Okay.
From Cik Muhammad Fuad,
Okay.
SP Logistik.
Okay.
The question in Malay, bagaimana cara untuk meyakinkan setiap pekerja tentang pentingnya safety?
Okay. Selalunya, you kena nampak dalam your company you mesti ada banyak signage safety. And then satu lagi, you bisa ada campaign. Dan selalunya setiap campaign ni you bagilah semua token dekat diorang campaign. Satu company dia bagi flyers. For example, kalau let's say 5S issue punya flyers, atau PPE punya flyers, apa important PPE, and then you satu lagi paling penting signage besar, big signage dekat depan, ataupun nak masuk dekat dia punya company dah ada signage wear PPE at all time, ataupun mungkin you boleh explain about cardinal rule, ataupun dalam company you ada macam-macam signage, 5S signage, PPE, wearing PPE, chemical signage and so on. Jadi kalau let's say your company ada macam-macam item, ini akan menyebabkan you kesal tahu your company ni ada something program ataupun safety punya aktiviti berjalan. Kalau let's say you punya company tak ada apa-apa, jadi you punya workers tak tahu ada tak safety tu jalan tidak. Satu lagi, kalau let's say you punya company ada jaga assembly, normally setiap jaga assembly dia mesti ada talk by the top management, ataupun jadi masa talimat setiap bulan tu, setiap top management ni dia kena last kali mesti cerita pasal safety, about last word. Itu adalah satu cara. Tapi yang paling penting sekali, dalam company ni mesti ada mesti ada signage atau signboard tentang about safety. Itu jadi mana yang akan bangkitkan awareness. Kalau tak ada, then you kena buat campaign lah, buat small campaign and so on. Itu kebanyakan company buat lah.
Okay, second question. Involvement of contractors in safety committee, is it necessary?
Normally contractor not necessary sebab because contractor is not your employee. Kecuali tadi I mention about foreign worker, kata foreign worker, jadi you kena ada satu team committee tu antara you punya committee dengan head of foreign worker from each state country, from Indonesia, Myanmar, Nepal, or Bangladesh. Tapi untuk contractor worker, selalu you nak buat kerja, you kena ada permit to work. Dia tackle kat permit issue. You kena ada, before they start work, any work, you must have a two-board meeting. Explain to them about 10-5 minute do's and don'ts in your company. Then you manage them through PTW ataupun through the solution. Siapa yang supervise that project.
Okay. From Cik Muhammad Aminu, Cik Muhammad Aminuddin.
Okay.
For the safety committee, who will be the chairman for each subcommittee?
Okay, chairman must be okay, the chairman must be apa ni? Your dalam kami dia paling top. Dia boleh buat decision on the spot. In term of dia boleh tambahkan manpower atau paksa their workers to attend join the meeting. And second one, the paling important thing is budget. So normally budget ni whatever finding from the workplace inspection ataupun from the CHL report, from the LEV report. Jadi dia kena budget untuk buat improvement. Satu itu. Yang untuk others ni not necessary head of department. You panggil engineer pun apa, supervisor pun. Ada company dia panggil supervisor, ada company dia panggil engineer. Tapi kalau boleh yang from that department tu yang boleh buat influence. Kalau let's say you panggil operator dan kita kat boss tu, kita buat ni problem lah. Jadi cari yang mana yang ada ranking yang ada dia punya designation agak tinggi sikit. You dalam satu committee. Normally people akan ambil engineer, executive level, certain ambil department manager, certain ambil department manager. Tapi kalau you punya company nak powerful, ambil department manager. But problem dia department manager selalunya dia busy. Tapi ada company yang ambil put semua department manager level. Tapi ada company yang ambil engineer ataupun supervisor ataupun executive. Tapi kalau boleh you try to prevent ambil operator lah. Sebab apa? Satu dia tak ada knowledge. Jadi yang kedua dia tak boleh influence dia punya superior No.
Okay. From Ms. Mala, let's say we already have no smoking signboard,
Okay.
but employees still never follow. How to solve this issue?
Okay. No smoking ni then again you kena communicate dengan HRD, ask HRD to give first warning, second warning, third and at least finally is termination. Dia one you kena ni. You tak boleh terus dismiss dia. Nanti dia masuk dalam label mahkamah dia problem you kalah. Jadi ada proper. I tak sure you punya HRD ada mungkin first jumpa finding, first warning. Jumpa yang kedua, second warning. The third mungkin last kali termination. Satu. Yang you boleh terminate, selalu kami buat ada study rule. Itu memang boleh direct terminate dan you boleh fight dalam mahkamah. Example, contohnya for leave ataupun working dalam bawah suspended load, and then confined space, illegal, contoh, tu boleh. Tapi yang smoking ni, dia depend pada company punya procedure. Because certain you tak boleh terminate because nanti dia akan call lawyer, dia fight you kalah. Normally you akan bagi first warning, second warning. Then satu lagi, you boleh buat mungkin you gazette kan, smoking area you put semua dekat outside you punya company. Dekat dekat guardhouse, security guard. Tapi kalau dia curi dalam toilet, ada certain company dia letak smoke detector. Ada juga. Dia punya smoke detector, dia trigger, dia tangkap. Ada juga Tapi normally kalau to settle this issue, sekarang most of the company dia akan gazettekan smoking area tak boleh dalam kilang tidak. Semua dekat security guard outside. Dalam kilang kalau ada jumpa, ada dapat tangkap, dan ni. Ada certain company letak kamera pun ada.
Okay, from Mr. Wong PC, how to convince safety and health on playing their part to contribute to better safety practice?
Okay. In order to convince them, you must have a company KPI. Each committee you must set a KPI. For example, your company ultimate goal is a 0 industrial accident or 0 near miss. So each committee must set KPI. Example, work participation. What are KPI? Example, you can find what type of hazard and then how to eliminate the hazard. In order to eliminate hazard, you give to training. And you give to the campaign leader. First, you must have KPI. So that KPI you must discuss during the meeting. See, is it achievable or not achievable? If not achievable, why? Maybe your activity is not enough. So you must more activities in order for you to achieve your own session KPI. And then if you cannot, then you make campaign. Make campaign how to achieve. Jadi then important thing you must have KPI. KPI so you can work drive to the KPI.
I think the next question from Cik Arif related to the question just now. Sometimes member not participate in it if they share committee.
Aha.
Just silent and
Okay.
etc. Sometimes only one way communication only. How to solve this?
Okay, that's why tadi I mention dalam satu community ada 3, explorer, prisoner ataupun turis Jadi kalau you dapat mana tahu then kata let's say you punya company memang hantar dia orang. Tak apa. Tapi you jangan risau. Dalam you punya tu ada MD. MD akan tengok. MD dia takkan nak diam je. And then satu lagi tadi saya mention setiap community tu dia kena explain 5 minit. You bagi dia airtime 5 minit. Jadi kalau time dia tak ada cakap mesti dia tengok. Ini budak ni tak betul. Mana bonus tak efek lah kan. Tapi kalau dia normally tu hanya explain kalau MD was there, semua orang akan tunjuk. Dia akan keluar MD mana dia capable ataupun dia ada banyak idea. Normally dia takkan duduk MD dia diam sebab dia akan dapat attract MD because this one future dia punya future career dia. Dia akan cepat naik pangkat ataupun bonus tinggi and so on That's why dalam meeting ni setiap member ni kena bercakap. You the edit ni saya cakap contohnya training. So dia cakap 5 minit, apa aktiviti dia buat atau apa aktiviti akan buat. Contoh buat presentation, apa yang dia jumpa. Dia aktiviti, apa training kepada dia punya fakulti. Jadi salah satu cara untuk dia tangkap lah, you kena bagi dia time setiap orang dia cakap. Dan you must make sure dalam meeting yang attend adalah MD Jadi MD akan tengok semua staff dia. Siapa yang boleh buat kerja dan siapa yang tak boleh buat kerja and so on
Okay. I think maybe one last.
Okay.
This one. Okay. Let's say yang tadi Cik Azhar mention we want to start up meeting.
Okay.
And then the 1+1 or +2+2 or +4+4.
Okay, betul.
Let's say yang mesti attend to half of the community representative. Kalau caranya tak ada wakil daripada salah satu kerja atau macam mana boleh dia tunggu saja juga
dia kena at least 50% kurang lebih 50% sebab nanti kalau ada isu you nak undi dan tak boleh lah kalah lah yang tak attend jadi sepatutnya kalau boleh balance antara representative from employer representative from management kena balance. Takut kalau ada isu nak undi ada problem. Kalau tak ada then you kena reschedule meeting. Tapi normally kalau MD attend selalunya dia tak attend. Selalunya from experience kalau MD tak kongsi lah dia baru dia bilang
soalan. Most of the community members think their workload already increased by joining the committee. How to solve this?
Okay, that's why I mention. Ini volunteer. Memang semua orang tak nak. Sebab tu sometimes first kali you tak boleh paksa orang. You you open kepada semua everyone siapa nak join the safety because semua orang ada workload. Sometimes kebanyakan orang dah ada multitasking because kalau multitasking you mati sebabnya. Jadi first kali sebab tu undang-undang ni tak boleh paksa. First you open to employee pekerja you siapa nak join certificate. Kalau dia say apa yang nak join certificate because MD dalam dia kena uji lah. Tetapi kalau sekiranya dalam itu tak ada seorang pun nak join then MD kena paksa. Kalau MD paksa dua ni tak attend tak boleh kan. Kena. Itulah dia yang kedua paksa. Yang first kali volunteer.
Okay. Ada lagi question. What we should do if the head of department not encourage the staff to join or to be a member of the SHC?
That's why your chairman is there. Chairman is a key. MD ada high authority. Dia boleh force dia punya department manager release your staff. Kalau dia say chairman is a officer dia tarik kan. That's why first kali chairman must be the top person dalam company yang boleh berisi yang boleh force everyone. Let's say kalau MD just send one email to the manager MD go staff. Is it dia punya department manager berani lawan MD tak? MD tak berani selalunya. Unless kalau dia konkret answer dia repeat yang ada boleh. Tapi let's say kalau MD send I need one representative from your department. Dia kena carilah.
Okay, harap itu dapat menjawab soalan daripada Tuan Fatimah Yusofi. Kemudian Syed Muhammad Edwin Abdullah. Bagaimana cara menjadikan WPI itu berkesan dan efektif?
Jadi apa?
Berkesan dan efektif.
Jadi apa?
WPI. WPI. Syed Edwin can you explain more on the WPI?
Mungkin you jaga dengan jaga different.
KPI tu ada.
KPI kot.
Oh, see.
Presentation.
Okay.
Mungkin, ya.
Okay. Untuk workplace inspection ni, tadi I mention, sebenarnya dia punya cerita panjang. Satu, before you conduct workplace inspection, satu you kena ada tema. Yang kedua kena ada area. Yang ketiga finding tu. Jadi untuk nak besar, semua komiti you kena ajar tentang apa itu hazard, yang apa dia hazard tadi. Supaya bila dia start dia punya site visit, dia boleh jumpa hazard. Kalau tak cerita apa macam mana rupa electrical hazard, macam mana rupa physical hazard, chemical hazard ataupun biological hazard. Jadi dia sampai nanti dia pusing lah, tak tahu apa. That's why dalam satu training ini saya akan emphasize, titik beratkan. First kali before kita buat presentation, saya akan explain tentang hazard dia. Supaya bila dia pergi audit, ini hazard, ini mechanical hazard, ini physical hazard, ini electrical hazard. Jadi first kali you nak bagi knowledge kat dia, supaya dia tahu macam mana dia cari hazard.
Okay. From this Mala, how if the management itself never follow the safety?
Then kalau nak follow the safety, then those will to you lah. Okay, because this one dia akan saman tu, I think if not mistaken 5,000 ringgit or 500 or 10,000. Dia punya investment jadi kalau dia say bos akan check, normally kalau bos nak annual inspection, first kali akan check you punya minute, then you punya composition of the structure of the HST, and then tengok you ada what inspection, you ada activity. Dia kalau tak ada, dia boleh kenakan you NOI ataupun notice of improvement you kena buat. Dia gunakan tu lah. Ada regulation regulation safety health committee regulation 1996. Itu draft political. Ada satu kemudian kami saya jumpa because dia punya safety officer dah tak boleh handle, dia kalau draft so draft datang check. Ada juga. Dia boleh baik tu. Tapi tu aku nanti kalau dia tahu kacau layu kan. Tapi ada juga kami buat macam tu safety officer dia tak handle, dia tahu information, terus akan check. Dia bagi tip information tu.
Okay. Itu saja soalan untuk hari ini kepada partisipan. Terima kasih banyak-banyak atas soalan dan terima kasih Cik Azhar untuk semua jawapan. Now I want to slide shortly brief on the upcoming training schedule. Okay, after this we have online training on the topic today, actually, Effective Safety, Health and Environmental Committee. This will be conducted on the 1st and the 2nd June 2021. Okay. And then the second one is Chemical Handling and Spillage Management. It's a free webinar. This will be held on 22nd June 2021. Diikuti dengan Chemical Handling and Spillage Management online training on the 8th July 2021. And lastly, for our training schedule as now, Effective Schedule Waste Management online training on the 11th and 12th August 2021. So please look out for our social media, Facebook, Instagram for this poster for this training, and possible please join. Okay. Besides training, our main core business for Intensive Energy Selia Mahat, we do schedule waste management and consulting. We do HSC management and consulting, EHSC and IoT solutions. We do have operational excellence products and services. Please, if you have more questions or you need more information on the training, you can email to training4you@iasc.my, or any other general inquiry, you can contact admin@iesp.my. I pass you to Puan Ishida for some information. Over to you, Puan Ishida.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. Semua sihat ya? Okay, thank you again for joining our free webinar series. I noticed a few of you already joined our free webinars and also online training. So thank you so much for your support. Jadi untuk question you all, sama ada kita boleh bagi slides or not untuk this free webinar, kita akan share with you. Nanti saya akan email to each one of you. And also for this free webinar punya recorded video recording, I will also post in our YouTube, which is Intensive Energy Siang Berhad. You Google je Intensive Energy Siang Berhad punya YouTube, nanti dia akan ada di situ. InsyaAllah saya akan upload lah by today. Jadi as mentioned by Izmi, kita akan ada our Effective Safety Health and Environmental punya community online training. So I really encourage company-company yang ramai sangat register hari ini under the same umbrella, same group, same company to attend this interesting punya training by Encik Azhar. You will gain a lot of information and I think he will help you to solve any of your problem yang you are facing. So please do join our online training on Effective Safety Health and Environmental Committee. So thank you again and have a nice day. And selamat Ramadan and selamat buka puasa, selamat Hari Raya juga kalau ada yang tak jumpa. Kemudian thank you again ya. Take care everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih semua.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very good session. I happen to learn more deep towards CHS.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Sudah buat in-house lah, sikit in-house.
Boleh tak? Semua keluar. Mana anu cek buat? Mana anu cek?
Thank you for effective training for today from Fatimah Yusuf.
Apa yang nak?
Thank you for effective training for today.
Dia mana? Dari mana?
Fatimah Yusuf.
Ciao.
From airport.
Oh, Malaysia Port. Malaysia Port beliau. Ramai sama. Saya pun pernah.
Main kupon.
Tadi pada kita berapa? 96.
View profile.